So sweaty feet can be annoying, but even worse than that, smelly feet can be quite embarrassing at times. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some of my top tips that I tell my own patients on how they can reduce the sweating and reduce the foot odor so that you can have nice, fresh feet every single day. So when it comes to sweat, it does play an important part in regulating our temperature, getting rid of excess salts, protecting our skin, and our feet are covered in sweat glands. They have about 250,000 sweat glands. We also have sweat glands on other parts of our body as well, but the feet have a high concentration of them. As a result, we can sweat about half a pint of sweat every single day from the feet, which is quite a significant amount. Now, when you mix that sweat in an environment that's trapped like the feet with your socks and your shoes and they're tight, bacteria builds up over time there, and it's that bacteria that ends up giving that smell that's associated with smelly feet. So don't worry, we're going to go through everything now. I just wanted to give that little background before we begin with the tips. So straight on to tip number one, you are going to use a strong antiperspirant on the feet. There are lotions available that you can apply on the feet. But the main thing you want to make sure for these antiperspirants is that they contain an ingredient called aluminium chloride, okay? Aluminium chloride is fantastic at blocking those sweat glands. Remember, we have 250,000 of them on our feet, okay? So by blocking up them, we are reducing the amount of sweat that you produce, and it's gonna make a massive difference in how sweaty your feet get. You're not gonna get those wet socks anymore that are soaking with sweat and that smell associated with the bacteria, because we're gonna reduce the amount of sweat so bacteria has less of what it likes to keep breeding and expanding and getting more and more. Now, I had a patient not long ago actually who I was recommending this to. They tried it and they saw no real benefit. After speaking to them and finding out what they were doing, I realized that they're actually using this antiperspirant, the aluminium chloride lotion, in the daytime. So to go for a shower and then to dry themselves, apply the lotion, put their socks on and go out to work. This is not how you want to apply it. So to get the maximum benefit, what you need to do is apply it at nighttime. So at nighttime, before you go to bed, apply it on your feet every night for about 7 nights, okay? And then you can start to reduce the use as well. So you don't have to then use it every single night. You can use it every other night and you'll figure out what works for you, okay? It's really important you do it that way and you're gonna get the main benefit from it that way. If you do it during the day, like my patient, it's not gonna dry, it's just gonna leave a wet residue and it's probably gonna make things a bit worse as well, and bacteria likes that as well. So we don't want that. So those are the main tips you need to do to get the most out of it, because it makes a huge difference. Okay, next up, tip number 2, rotate your shoes and let them dry properly, okay? First of all, when it comes to your shoes, you need to be changing your shoes every single day. Don't be wearing the exact same shoes you wore yesterday, the next day, the day after, etc. If you do that, that bacteria is going to build up in those shoes. It's going to become a massive breeding ground for bacteria, and then we're going to get the smelly feet, the smelly shoes, all the stuff that we're all aware of. So that's the number one thing, rotate the shoes. When you're rotating the shoes as well, a few other top tips that I always tell my patients are, don't wear really tight shoes, okay? This was something I used to do. I always used to wear really tight shoes, okay? But that was a bad thing, okay? Because when you do that, it gets warmer and tighter and you sweat more as well. So you want to wear shoes that are just a normal fit. Take them off when you get home and also let them dry out. So if you've got somewhere with good ventilation that it can dry out in the house, put it there. Also, consider even getting some old newspaper, which can be really useful, stuffing it in there, and that'll help dry them out as well, so it'll kind of wick the moisture out. That's a really good tip for everyone to start doing. So start wearing different pairs of shoes and rotate. Rotate, rotate, rotate. The worst thing you can be doing is wearing shoes back to back. I know it's easier said than done because you've got to go out and buy new shoes, etc. But if you don't, you're just going to have this exact same problem just continuously going. And we need to reduce the amount of bacteria in those shoes and let them dry out. By letting them dry out, it's going to lower the bacteria. Hope that helps. Okay, and straight on to tip number 3, socks, okay? I remember I once had this patient who was really into their sports and wearing, a lot of sports clothes all the time, running shoes, etc. And he once told me that his shoes smelled so bad, on his feet smelled so bad, that when he'd go to the gym changing room, he'd be a bit embarrassed about taking his shoes off because of the smell, and that people around him would look at him as well because of it. Sometimes it was so bad he could even smell it through the shoe. So the reason I'm telling you this story is that your socks can make a massive difference in the amount we sweat from from the feet and the smell as well, okay? Your socks are going to retain that moisture, all right? So we need to avoid socks that are made out of synthetic materials, okay? Like nylon, all right? You need to stay away from them, like these sports socks that you get, and instead we need to be going for more natural fibers, okay? So cotton is good, wool is good. I think bamboo cotton, that's what they call it. They are really good at absorbing the moisture, but also aerating as well. And they also have a natural antibacterial property about them as well. So they can lower the levels naturally by themselves as well. So socks are a massive one, but also if you're someone who, you feel like halfway through the day or whilst you're at work, your feet feel soaked and it's kind of embarrassing for you as well. And the sweat's just getting worse. And that thought is making things worse as well. Bring a spare pair of socks with you. This can be a massive game changer. So just keep them with you, put them in your car, have it in your bag with you, and make that your normal routine. Just like when you're leaving the house, you take your phone and your keys and your wallet, etc. Take some socks with you. Take a pair of socks with you so you can change halfway through the day, because all of these are going to make a massive difference for the amount that we sweat from our feet and the smell and reducing the bacteria. Oh, and one last thing whilst we're on the topic of socks before we go on to the next tip, make sure you're washing your socks regularly. Do them in a warm wash, okay? So 60 degrees Celsius wash. So basically it's the higher setting, on the higher temperature setting, on your washing machine. That way it's really going to kill those bacteria and get rid of them, which is all going to help with the smell. So next up, let's talk about SWEATBLOCK, a highly effective solution for dealing with excessive and embarrassing sweating. This US-based company offers a range of FDA compliant products designed for targeted sweat protection, whether it's your face, whether it's your underarms, whether it's your hands or your feet or your body. And to learn more about SWEATBLOCK and their brilliant products, check out their Amazon US, Amazon Canada, UK and Europe page, links in the description below, or visit sweatblock.com. SWEATBLOCK, thank you for being our trusted sponsor. Now moving straight on to tip number 4, it's all about washing your feet properly, okay? First of all, you need to get into a routine of washing your feet every single day. If you're showering every 2 days, you're gonna wash your feet then. But I would get into the habit, this is what I always tell my patients, if you're working all day and you come home, when you come home, just go and quickly wash your feet, all right? Just quickly stand in the shower or in the bathtub and just wash your feet nicely with some soap, really lather it up and get in between the toes and nicely just give it a quick wash. It'll probably take you 5 minutes tops, all right? This washing is really just going to help refresh the feet, get rid of all that sweat that's built up, get rid of all them dead skin cells that's built up as well, and most importantly, get rid of the bacteria and the fungus that's building up, all right? In terms of what soap to use, because patients sometimes ask me this, I don't really recommend any specific soap. Any sort of bar of soap or, that you use or even shower gel that you use would be fine on the feet, okay? So you don't need to get any specific antibacterial soap, but if you do, it's not going to do you any harm. It might be more beneficial, but they are good at reducing the bacteria and fungus load anyway on the feet. So don't bother wasting your money on really expensive soaps. Another tip as well that I tell my patients is maintain good foot hygiene, as in you're washing etc. That's great, but your nails, make sure you're clipping them, all right? So don't let them get too long, because if they're getting too long, but if you're not maintaining them, there's constantly going to be bacteria underneath those nails and fungus underneath those nails, and that will contribute to the smell, and it's very difficult for you to clean underneath those nails. So maintain them and do the wash. And lastly, once you've washed your feet, make sure you're drying them thoroughly. Really get in between the toes, dry them. I see it all the time. I've said it in previous videos when I'm in the gym and I see people come out of the shower and they don't dry themselves and they don't dry their feet and just put socks on straight away and then followed by their shoes. And all I'm thinking in my head is, I'm like, smelly feet, sweaty feet, and like you're putting yourself at all these risks. So by doing these little things, it's going to make such a big difference. The sweaty feet and the smelly feet. Remember, so many people suffer with this problem, all right? So don't be embarrassed by it. It's completely normal. It's not a sign of poor hygiene or anything like that, but these little tips are going to make a big difference. I have so many success stories with my own patients who have problems like this, and I've given them these tips and they've made massive difference for them. So I really hope this information was helpful. Thank you for clicking on my video. I know there's loads of videos on YouTube and you chose to click on our video. We spend a lot of time doing research into the videos, giving scientific evidence-based tips that's easy to understand and easy to apply for everyone. So definitely give them a go. Don't forget to leave a comment letting us know how you get on. If you know someone that find this video helpful, please do share it to them as well. And if you've got any questions or you've got any of your own tips, also feel free to share them in the comments below. We always get back to all the comments on the channel. Like I always say, thank you for watching and sending awesome vibes. 50,000 sweat glands on your feet. So that's like rotate. Huh?